This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network. Hello everyone, welcome on in. I'm Velvet and thanks for joining me today in The Sims 4. We are going to be looking at some different ideas for garages. I know we don't have cars in The Sims 4, but that doesn't stop us from wanting garages in our games and in our builds. They're great for doing hobbies, having faux cars, and basically looking great in our houses. So let's talk about some techniques for creating garages. First up, we're going to need a few things in our toolkit to get us started. Hit Control-Shift-C, that'll bring up your cheat menu. You're going to need some cheats. Our first cheat is going to be testing cheats true. Next up, we'll need bb.moveObjectsOn. Next, we'll need bb.showHiddenObjects. And right after that, bb.showLiveEditObjects. Those last two cheats will be debug cheats. We won't be using too much debug, but there are a couple of techniques which we can use debug with. First up, let's build a basic garage shape. So you want to go to Walls and Empty Rooms. Select your Room tool. Now you can make this any shape you like, basically, but we're just going to go for a basic rectangle with a short wall. So I'm going to change that down to a short wall, but again, you can make that whatever height you like. And you'll notice this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. This is basically giving us a really good shape and size for a garage. Next up, I'm going to add the roof. So we're going to go to our roofing area and I'm going to select the gabled roof. We're going to keep it pretty basic, spin it around. So we've got a front facing gable. And by using the large rounded arrow key, we're going to pull that along and then through and wide just to get it covering the roof. Using the height arrow, which is this large rounded one on the top, we're going to move it down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that just creates a really nice shape for our garage. Our first garage is a base game idea. We're going to use a base game column to get us started. Now, if you've got all your cheats up in the cheat menu, then it's time to get cheating. If you have more than the base game pack, I suggest going into packs, into the pack filter, and just selecting base game. It will make this easier to find. Then you type in debug, select the top one. In this menu, you'll see there's a lot of stuff going on, but at the end of the curved iron balcony, this is where our debug items start. Now, near the top of this, a few rows down, you'll see there is actually quite a few rows down. So you're coming across here, there's like a little water tower type thing. And further along that row, there is this debug column, this little darling right here. So we're going to place it here and we're going to place it here. So then we're going to add like a second one. We're going to lift it up by 10. Now to lift up a column like this, Control 9 or 9, we basically lift it up by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then that just sits on top there. To do the same again on the other side, lifting up by 10. Now what we're going to do is we're going to type into the menu IMM. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to bring up the immaculate shelving, which is this here. And we're going to select the color of choice. And we're just going to bring it across and select it like this. And place the shelving along the edge of the roof. Now we do have, it's not a perfect fit, so I'm just going to add an extra one over on the end. And this is why we need move objects on, because now we can combine that there and just make it sit there perfectly. And then we're going to use the immaculate shelving one more time, just using the same color again. And you want to have it basically right near the bottom and shrink it down. So you shrink it down using the left square bracket key. And we want to go 1, 2, 3, basically as small as it will go. And that's our door handle. So then we just need to paint it. So we'll get our simple siding from the wallpapers. So this is down here, siding, simple siding. I like this one just because it has a nice thin stripe to it. Paint that area there. And look, you can sort of see that garage door coming together, right? Then you want to think about whatever color you want to have on the exterior for your garage, whatever color you like, whatever works with your house. And then you add your roofing color and your roofing trim of your choice there. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into Windows and we are going to select the Lightbox window. Clean, simple, minimal, perfect. And I use this all the time for garages. And I'm going to select the grey because that goes with my house. And then I'm basically just going to add windows running along right along the front of that. And just like that, we have our garage door all done. Base game only. This next garage is a base game only style as well. You can change it around with different packs, and it's just the technique. It's the jumping off point. You can change it around with different types of wallpapers, columns, all the things that we're going to use today. So first off, we're going to paint our garage. So let's go to Wall Patterns, Masonry, And we'll go right to the bottom to blocked out. And I'm just going to select a nice white block like that. Next up, I'm going to go to columns. And I'm going to select the nice square column, which is Soledad square column. You can, again, just choose whatever column you like that you think would suit your build. And we're going to place them on this point here and this point here. So we've got one grid on either side of our garage. Next, we're just going to go into Windows. And we're going to select the Lightbox window from basegame. And this is where it gets a little tricky. So we're going to have to hold down Alt. And this gives us free placement. So if you have your building, all your building cheats on, this should work just fine. Hold down Alt. And what we're going to do is we're just going to bring the window across so it goes right along this bottom line here at the bottom of the roof. And we're going to bring it across so it matches the column. And for this first one, we're just going to hide the side of the window in behind the column. And then we're going to just bring in the rest of the windows running across like this. And then that's going to fit right there like that with the windows slightly hidden in behind. So we have the windows running across there. It does take a little practice to get those working in a smooth order. Next, we're going to add a roof. So we have our half gable roof here. Let's just select that in place and it's going to sit here up above our windows. So just click on that. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this down by 7. So we're going to lower the height by 7 using the big height arrow up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to bring in the eaves. So this is the little eave arrows here. Just bring those in. Pull that in holding down the mouse. And then we're going to bring the roof in by 2 using this big rounded arrow here. 1 and 2. Then we're going to stretch this across by 1. And you can see there a little eave going on there. We're just going to paint that the same color as the roof. Whatever color you happen to have painted it. Let's go with that. So we've got like a little overhang over our garage, a little lip over our garage. And then the last thing that we're going to do is type in IMM. And this brings up our immaculate shelving. And I'll just bring that up in the white. You can do it whatever color you like. And then I'm going to shrink down the immaculate shelving using the left square bracket key. 1, 2, 3, as small as it will go. And then we have another little garage. For our next technique, it is a base game only build. And we're actually going to shrink down our garage by 1 for this one. So we're going to go 5 wide for our garage. So I'm just going to shrink that down and shrink that down. What we're basically going to be using is we're going to be using a doorway to create the frame for our garage. To be able to do this, we need to go into walls and empty rooms. And we're going to select the basement tool. And we're going to just build a basement right in front of our garage right here. What I'm going to do here is then I'm going to click on the basement so that this yellow square comes up. Click on that and remove ceiling. And then that allows us to see into the basement. From there, we're going to go into doors and we're going to go right to the bottom and select the door 51323 by Pointless Renovation. And that's going to sit down there on the bottom there. And you can see if we have that in place, you can actually see through the building. So that's not ideal. But by lifting it up, which we're going to do, so Control 9 or 9, and lifting it all the way up until the door frame reaches the bottom of the garage. You can see here that it just creates a frame rather than having a see-through open doorway. Click on the basement, slide the arrow closed, and that's your basement gone. What we can do is we can select windows and we can select our trusty old lightbox window. So we can run that across 1, 2, and 3. Then we can use our immaculate shelving, IMM in the search bar. Click on that and you can select the immaculate shelving in the color of your choice. Shrink it down by 3 using the left square bracket. And we've got our lovely handle. So then we are going to do the painting because we're going to have a little issue up the top here that we have to deal with. So I'm going to select the simple siding here. I'm getting a little bit of flickering as I move. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the windows in a smidge so that they don't intersect with the door. So that's just moving them basically across 3, like little 3 kind of tiny movements. You can see the flickering stops there, which is great. So we've painted our door. Now we've got to paint the rest of our garage. So we'll just do a little simple brick would be great. Now, if you are bothered by the little bit of pink sticking up around the top, which fair enough, you can go and hide that with a couple of items. So there is the immaculate shelving. So if you type in IMM into the search bar, go right up to the top, click on text search for, and that'll take us to all your IMM things. But this is an easy way to bring up the immaculate shelving. And then we select immaculate shelving, and you want to increase the size of this by 1, and you click the right square bracket key to do that. And you basically just bring that down so it sits right on top of the door there. I'm building in with the Sims 3 camera, so I'm able to manipulate the way that the camera sits, if you're wondering how I'm doing that. And again, do the same thing on the other side, and again, just try and bring that in right over the top there. And you have like a little awning over the top, and it hides the fact that we've got pink sticking up. You can also do a cute little window again, right up under the eaves. And sitting up there too. And there we have it. A little frame using a secret basement that nobody knows about. Another easy base game only idea for decorating a garage is going back to what we've done already with some of the columns. So we'll use the Soledad column, and we'll choose that in black, and that'll go on either side. We will then use the immaculate shelving, IMM, and select that in black, run that across, and holding Alt just to free place it and tidy that up. And that's basically our frame for our door. So then we're going to go into Windows, select the quadruple awning, and we're going to select that in black, which is actually this one over here, a little hard to tell. And you just run that through, click that there, click that there. Go back to the columns, and we're going to select the Soledad square column again in the black, run that through. So then we're going to go into wall patterns. We're going to go into paint, and right down the bottom go down to plain but pretty. In that we do have a black wallpaper, and we're just going to paint the garage with that. Then what we're going to go into is immaculate shelving. So IMM in the search bar, click right up the top on the green section and select the black swatch for the shelving. Then we're going to shrink it down by 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to run across, and it's going to sit on the window here. 1, 2, 3, and on the window there. We're going to decorate this in the brick. So I'm going to be using the Brickery Elite with corner accent here. There we go, and that's going to decorate the rest of the garage. I'm then going to take the Energy King. So this is another window, and we're going to select that in black, and we're going to put like a little window there up the top as well. And just like that, we've got ourselves another cute little garage. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching this little tutorial on some different garage door techniques and ideas. I hope you will have some fun building your garages. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I will catch you next time. Bye.